Welcome back. State Police and the Texas Guard are on special assignment. They're looking for dead immigrants, and you're footing the bill. The specially trained teams are in a tiny South Texas county located 4 hours from Houston and working on and off at the request of local cops. So why are all of these state resources now on deck in Brooks County working to tackle a federal issue? Here's Christine Galvan.
4 hours from Houston,
we're just a small county, don't make a difference to anybody.
Sits a tiny rural county, population roughly 7,000. On this particular day, Brooks County was on fire, literally. Hundreds of acres charred, burned because someone decided to load a bunch of undocumented immigrants into a car and try to sneak them past the Brooks County Border Patrol checkpoint. The paid driver spotted federal agents, made an abrupt stop on land, sparked the fire, and bailed.
This is somebody's property. This is their livelihood. And they didn't ask for this fire. It just happens, and it's destroyed their property. And that has a value to them. Look at this. This is their fences that have just burned. This is their trees. That's an oak tree, hundreds of years old. Human smuggling is illegal, and this is what caused it. And we need to try to curtail this and stop it.
How do we fix it?
Well, it's fallen on deaf ears.
If the county judge sounds bitter, it's probably because he is. In fact, most Brooks County residents are bitter about the whole immigration issue, just not for the same reasons as the rest of America. Thousands of undocumented immigrants walk through here. They just don't stay, at least not willingly.
Most of our issues are immigration issues, say between 80 to 85% of it. We have a checkpoint here in a non-border county. They're trying to circumvent the checkpoint. The United States Border Patrol checkpoint, that's what I'm referring to.
This is that checkpoint. At night, the area around it is pitch black. During the day, the sun is brutal, especially during the summer. Hundreds of undocumented immigrants have died trying to avoid Border Patrol agents.
Is there a humanitarian crisis going on in Brooks County?
There is, in a sense, of all these bodies that we're recovering and all the burden laying on the county to recover the bodies and of course the funding. We don't have funding.
No funding from Washington, even though by law, Brooks County is required to pick up the tab for every immigrant who dies here.
In each one of them at maybe a $2,500. We have requested some reimbursement from the federal government at a $628,200 and change. We're still waiting on that.
Still waiting on our nation's leaders in Washington. As the people of Brooks County waited, their local decision makers acted. They cut jobs. Families lost salaries so the county could pay to bury the dead. Martinez was left with just 4 deputies. 4 deputies, 1 per shift. The salary?
Roughly 23, 24,000, somewhere in there.
Insurance?
As of right now, no.
I normally work with the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office. We're about 300 to 400 deputies. Compared to 4.
Can they handle it?
Can the 4 Brooks County? No.
And that's why Cameron Coleman, who is a licensed peace officer, decided to spend his days off working for Brooks County for free. On this particular day, the county got another 911 call, another body, and another bill. But it was a supervisor for a federal agency who called the shots at the scene, and he did not want our cameras anywhere around.
Whether or not that's something that they're allowed to do, best person to ask you, the public affairs officer at Sector. You can tell them that we sent you.
Can I give him the bill from Brooks County too?
I don't know. I think it's kind of difficult that these small counties are doing this, and I know it hurts them, so maybe that's something that needs to be discussed up in Washington.
Who represents Brooks County in Washington?
It would be Ruben and Jose.
How do we fix it?
Well, it's fallen on deaf ears.
And the sad thing is, he really doesn't, no one needs Brooks County to get elected. That's a sad thing. That's what it is, bottom line.
Well, it's fallen on deaf ears.
Well, we're listening, and you should too, since now your state police and military are being temporarily reassigned to deal with federal immigration woes. Our special report, Brooks County's federal problem continues tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday. And you just might be surprised at just how connected Brooks County is to the Houston area. Christine Galvan, Fox 26 News.
The nation watched it happen. Over the summer, most of America learned about a massive swarm of foreign-born children traveling to this country alone. Then, within weeks, the nation's attention shifted to a place 80 miles north of the Mexican border. Tonight, we're taking you back to what some are calling the killing fields of Brooks County. Here's Fox.
There's like nothing left.
People are dying. Brooks County is almost broke. And a nation's already broken immigration system is mostly to blame. 80 miles from the Mexican border, Brooks County's chief deputy is almost out of Band-Aids. He's been asking for help for years.
The assistance we've gotten from the state of Texas has been through the Lieutenant Governor's office. We haven't gotten any other assistance from the federal government.
Who represents Brooks County in Washington?
It would be Ruben and Jose.
How do we fix it?
Well, it's fallen in deaf ears.
Brooks County does not sit directly on the border. As a result, lawmakers in Washington won't give the county money to deal with immigration strains. The hardships exist because every year, thousands of undocumented immigrants make it past the border, then try to walk around a federal checkpoint. Located? Yep, in Brooks County.
I was wondering if Mr. Hinojosa was here.
He wasn't, and he hasn't called.
I want to sit and chat with him about what's happening in Brooks County and trying to get some federal funds that'll help cover them.
It's been more than a month since that visit. We still haven't heard from the congressman. In the meantime,
Young girls are getting raped.
Young.
15, 14, by the brush guy.
854 Brooks. Go ahead with your 43.
We had a 911 call of a red Dodge vendor unloading bundles on Las Cuartas Road.
Jesse Macias is a high school teacher. He doesn't even live in Brooks County, but he knows it well.
So from there to here, it's like at least a good 25 miles.
Macias spends his weekends working for free as a Brooks County Reserve deputy. Yes, he's bonded. Yes, he's licensed.
With 4 full-time deputies for the entire county, which equals to 1 deputy per shift, if someone gets in trouble, by the time another deputy gets to where he is, I mean, it's dangerous.
Why you put that camera right?
Drug runs are up. They increased here over the summer after a surge of women and children forced border agents to spend most of their time processing paperwork needed for immigration court. We now know 70% didn't even bother to show up for court. Some skipped turning themselves in altogether in favor of trying to walk around a federal checkpoint in Brooks County at the mercy of a paid smuggler.
Young girls are getting raped. 15, 14.
Everything I am in me was a mom. You know, I wish personally I could take care of all of these children.
This woman knows the pain of losing a child. Someone killed her teenage son, Joshua, then dumped his body in a field and set him on fire.
In Pearland, and it happens everywhere. His name is Hermelio Morales. He was illegally here from Belize.
Illegal immigration has affected our family.
Don't just watch out for rattlesnakes when you get out.
This isn't a vacation. She's not a tourist. She's a mom.
We had a group of bandits, 7 of them out here on some of this big ranch country, camping out, and they were robbing the people in these groups.
It breaks my heart because everybody's human. There's nobody that's better or worse than the other person.
Beating them up, holding them hostage.
Yeah.
And calling Houston. They'd have to call Houston.
Speaking of calls, we're still waiting to hear from Congressman Ruben Hinojosa.
Well, he's the sole representative for Brooks County, right?
Yes.
Yes, he is. The sole voice in our nation's capital for a poverty-stricken South Texas community saddled with the fallout of immigration failure. The thing is, that fallout reaches far outside Brooks County lines. Just ask Joshua's mother. Christine Galvan, Fox 26 News.
Welcome back, everybody. Today is October 1st, and today marks the start of a new fiscal year for a lot of agencies, and that's good news for a small county in South Texas battling a lot of immigration-related issues. It's just 4 hours south of the Houston area.
Brooks County's 4 sheriff's deputies got raises today. They also got back the health insurance benefits they lost last year.
But the immigration struggle is far from over, and that's not good news for our neighborhoods here in the Houston area. Here's Fox 26's Christine Galvan.
Houston, apparently.
This is a tunnel for illegal immigrants.
This is the last major obstacle along the way, a federal immigration checkpoint surrounded by land that looks like this. It's the kind of property most men, and certainly some women, dream about when they picture riding off into retirement, a combination of open fields and oak trees stretched out over 60,000 acres. It's good hunting, too.
Come quail season, if we have a good quail season, the airport will be full of executives from all over the world.
This is the 95-year-old Cage family ranch in Brooks County. President Cage didn't grow up dreaming of retiring here. He actually grew up here. Together with his wife Stephanie, he raised 3 children of his own here. A lot has changed over the years.
In 2012 was a real bad year for the county. I think we had 16 that year and 7 last year. And so far this year we've had 5, and we're just about halfway finished with the hot time of the year. Some of these bodies that we find out here, and they're all somebody's child, you know, and most of them are young. And in fact, they almost all are young. Most of them are certainly in their early 20s mostly, and very few are older.
The emptiness, the emotion is real. It comes from a man who has everything in terms of wealth, but lost the only thing that really mattered 2 years ago: a child. Mr. Cage watched his firstborn lose a 13-year battle with cancer. Had his son lived, he would be 36 years old today and managing all the traditional operations, along with the modern immigration nightmare.
You just never know what's out there.
I mean, it's every country in the world, really. We've even caught some Russians out here.
Dr. Mike Vickers owns a neighboring ranch. He and his wife,
"Oh, this is my home, this is my property,"
don't shy away from the uninvited strangers they find walking around. They've tracked large groups of immigrants, found dead people, weapons, even suspected gang members, identified by the tattoos they sport.
The Pistoleros work for the Gulf Cartel, and they control the smuggling through here. The gangs control it out of Houston. We had a group of bandits, 7 of them out here on some of this big ranch country, camping out, and they were robbing the people in these groups, beating them up, holding them hostage.
Yeah.
And calling Houston. They'd have to call Houston or wherever their family members were. Their gang members would go by and collect all the extortion money and bring it to them. They'd meet them at this rest area, come out of the brush, and then go back. And then they'd let these people go. And that's how we found out about it. 2 guys showed up on the highway, beat to hell. You know, just absolutely beat to hell.
You can probably credit his frankness to frustration. Just like the sheriff deputies in Brooks County, Vickers and the other ranchers have been asking Washington for help fighting immigration-related crime for years.
We got 4 deputies. Then he's got 3 or 4 deputies. He's got these reserve deputies that are filling in and helping us. But to cover 1,000 square miles, he got 4 deputies. I mean, we're on our own out here.
We work with what we have. And I have a great bunch of guys that pretty much know what to do. They're careful on how they do it, and they get it done. At the end of the day, I'll make sure that they go home. That's what, at this point, that's what we want to do, is go home at the end of the day.
And at the end of the day, maybe they're wrong, and our nation's leaders are right to ignore Brooks County. Maybe, just maybe, all this death, all this crime really isn't a federal problem.
Have you had any babies born here?
Yes, I know of one. She cut the umbilical cord with a tin can lid.
Oh my gosh.
That's the story. And the U.S. citizen was born right here on this ranch.
Certainly a lot going on in this country right now, but will lawmakers ignore a nun who left Ohio to help Brooks County? Our 4-part report into Brooks County's federal problem wraps up tomorrow.
We've been telling you about an immigration struggle in a small South Texas county all week.
There's no denying the death, the crime, and the link between Brooks County and the Houston area. Here once again is Fox 26's Christine Galvan with a possible solution.
This is what a sunset should look like. Bold, bright, beautiful. This is Brooks County, Texas. They used to flock here. Energy executives thirsty for what lay beneath the surface, wealthy hunters hungry for what grazed above. This county, located 80 miles north of the Rio Grande, still draws thousands of visitors. They're just coming for different reasons.
Únicamente, de hecho yo estoy volando desde El Paso, Texas para acá.
Lawyers looking for the missing. Where was she from?
She's a Mexican female from Guanajuato, Mexico.
Do you guys have anything in here?
A high school teacher.
Brooks, go ahead.
Working for free as a licensed and bonded reserve deputy.
Piece of cargo.
Even a stay-at-home mom.
Illegal immigration has affected our family.
Looking for answers.
He came here for the water. So many things going on.
These ladies are visitors too, all the way from Ohio.
Generally what you
They're here to learn about immigrants who are dying trying to sneak past a federal immigration checkpoint, also located in the county. One is a nun. She got here August 1st and never left.
Bring anybody you want down here who sits in Washington. I will give them the personal tour of Falfurrias, McAllen, and anything else we can find that they want to see.
They don't want to come here.
Exactly.
With one known exception. Congressman Ted Poe, a Republican from Houston, visited Brooks County just last week. That's it.
Hello.
No one else. Not even by the politician who represents Brooks County in our nation's capital.
No one needs Brooks County to get elected. That's a sad thing. That's what it is, bottom line.
But why is this tiny, mostly Democrat county in deep South Texas any of Congressman Poe's business? Could it be that federal immigration checkpoint? Or maybe it's all the foreign-born people who are dying on American soil. They did break a federal law to get to Brooks County.
I think this is the 4th poorest county out of the 254 in the state.
My challenge is come on down. I will welcome you. I would love to meet each and every one of you. Come on down to hunt for one day and tour one day. All right, we'll make it 50-50. I'll give you a 50-50 deal. There's no golf course in Falfurrias, so we could also offer a golf course.
There is.
There is?
9 holes.
Where?
They can play it twice.
Real nice 9.
There's no tee times either.
Nope.
No weights.
Nope. Easy. Just.
Let me introduce myself. I'm Cruz Martinez, and I'm one of the co-directors of this little 9-hole golf course in Falfurrias.
We redid the golf course 1985. It was the old golf course. It was an honor system. You just put whatever on the little box and play. Honor system.
As for the current rates...
Well, if you came with a partner, it would cost you about $24 each.
Who should we invite over here from Washington?
Obama. Jack Nicklaus been here. He comes hunting. Bush, President Bush, and the old Bush, they used to come hunting. So Falfurrias is well known.
On second thought, Sister Pam may want to leave hunting off the agenda.
So everybody in this area leases their ranches or parts of their ranches. We lease part of this ranch to hunters. And they've been a little bit concerned about what's going on out here. They really don't like, they want to be out in the blind and not be worried about anything. And all of a sudden, here come this group of 15 or 20 will walk right underneath their blind, and they don't know what they're up to. Most of them are going to be harmless and walk right on by, but they still don't feel very comfortable. A lot of my hunters have been complaining about it, you know, and I said, God, I wish I could do something about it, but I really can't do anything about it.
But lawmakers can. The question now, will they?
Come on down.
I like you, sister.
Come on down.
The offer's on the table. The offer is on the table, and who can say no to a nun? She is, after all, from Ohio, and Chris and Melinda, I hear that's kind of an important state politically.
Yeah, I hear it is sometimes. You know, she's great, very gutsy, and is really speaking the truth about what needs to be done down there.
Yep, lots needs to be done.
Christine, thank you.
Thank you.